It's Saturday. Again. Like it was last Saturday. And like yesterday, I'm streaming again. How's everyone doing today? Oh, between yesterday, because you did all watch yesterday's stream. I know you guys are good for that. So you're all here yesterday. Between yesterday and today, I hope you're all still good. We're still playing with bed flingers. More of the DIY variety instead of the out of the box variety. But tonight should be the last stream when it comes to assembling the Switchwire, because technically it is assembled right now. The only problem with it, we can't really, unless you want to sit here and manually feed your filament into the melty part, which you probably could do. I might do a video on that. Anyways, it ain't going to be pushing plastic because it ain't got nothing to push the plastic with. So, before the rebuild, because for those that aren't aware, this is a rebuild. This was originally built already. We had dual jetpacks. So I had two jetpack extruders. They sat up top like so, like that. And they fed down because we have two extruders, Y splitter, all that jazz. So, jetpack's old tech. You know, it actually still works just fine. But I have the printed parts here. So we are gonna take the guts out of here because they got the BMG guts in there. I got some LDO pancake steppers. And I've got a bunch of printed parts. We got some Matter Hackers Light Blue, which is the accent part. And we got some KVP Stellar Blue, which, look at them sparkles. Look at them shiny sparkles. It doesn't quite match the frame, obviously. It's close enough. So, let's get building. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me catch up on chat. Greetings from the US. Hello from Canada. Greetings from the hat. Well, Tech Greg, you finally caught one live. Congrats. Hello from Sydney. Good morning. Any room in Canada? Yes, there is a lot of room up here. It just gets real cold real quick in some spots. Now build a second Switchwire with the old parts. All I would have is the frame and a bunch of motors. Okay, so got to take these guys apart. So we're going to be doing things twice. Now, I actually was kind of hoping that I was able to get the these guys built before the stream. So it would just be installing them and going through the setup. Unfortunately, I didn't have time. I only had one day. So, hi from England. Maple syrup is awesome. Yes, it is. Make sure you buy the real stuff. Corn syrup and sugar water isn't maple syrup. Watching stream on my TV. The new camera looks nice. That's good. The new camera's been in use for a while now. I don't know. Might be a little dark. I might have to turn up the ISO. I don't know. If it looks too dark, let me know. I'll play around with the settings. I had it, I was using it to record some stuff. So I was playing around with the ISO settings and whatnot. Hello, Greg. What is happening is I am ripping apart stuff and then building stuff. And trying not to break stuff in the process. Are you going to get a BIQU H2 extruder? I've seen that, and I'm kind of looking at one. If they want to send me one. But I don't know if I will actually buy one. It is interesting because it is bloody tiny. If you look at it, it's not, a lot of people think it's like a, it's not a Chimera clone for one. And it's not even, and what is the whatever, the Bondtech LGX clone. It's a, it's pretty much kind of inspired by, if you want to use that term, but it uses a NEMA 14 motor. So it's actually really tiny. Some lo-fi beats would be nice. Yes, because I always forget. There we go. So tonight's stream is going to be pretty relaxed, max relax. Going to build some extruders. I might update the firmware on here. It's got a very old version of Mainsail OS. I might swap it out to Fluid, the newest version of Fluid. I don't know yet. We shall see how that goes. But if not, we'll just leave it as is. Because what we're gonna, the plan is today, get the two M4s built. Get them installed, get everything wired up, get those all calibrated and set up so it actually, you know, can print. And then go through all the tuning. So pressure advanced tuning and whatnot. The thing with pressure advanced tuning, it takes a while. You're just watching it print a cube. Okay, need more guts, more BMG guts. I do have I already built an M4, but I can't remember where I put it. I gotta find it. How do I go about tuning flow rate on my new V2.4? So for flow, it's relatively simple. If you're on Windows, install Windows 3D Builder. You can find it in the Windows Store. It's actually a really good app for real simple mesh editing if you need to like add text or whatever, or just the view STLs. So get Windows 3D Builder. Make a cube in Windows 3D Builder that's, I don't know, 40 by 40 by 40 or 20 by 20 by 20. Bring that cube into your slicer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slice it with like 2 walls, no top, no bottom, no infill, and print it. And then once you get up a couple centimeters above the bed, like 2 or 3, stop the print and measure it. Don't measure it near the bottom of the bed, like the part near the bottom of the bed, because you're like, you'll have smush and elephant foot and whatnot. You want to measure like the actual true printed nature of the part. And what you're going to do is measure your wall with your vernier. So if you don't have a vernier, you're gonna have a bad time. You can't really do it with a scale. And you measure it. So say you have 0.4 millimeter nozzle and you print 2 layers and you measure it and it's 0.8 millimeters of wall, your flow rate's 100% and you're done. Now if you go to measure it and it's something different, like say it measures 0.78 millimeters, you're gonna have to bump up your flow percentage. If it measures 0.82 millimeters, you're gonna have to drop your flow percentage. And that's how you measure flow. It's relatively simple. I'm going to try and do an all-in-one video at some point. Hopefully maybe this week. Once this guy's all done, I will do a standalone video about all the first steps and what you should go through. But yeah. Okay, so that's one jetpack taken apart. I'm setting up one of my switch wires with Bowdens, thinking of using the Voron user mod NEMA 17 pocket watch extruder to get my belts for the M4. You can use any extruder with Bowden. You can use whatever Bowden extruder you want if you want to run a Bowden setup on the switch wire. There's no rule saying what you have to use. Some people are using just straight up Bondtech VMGs, which work just fine. And I'm going to say it at the beginning of the stream because a lot of people watch the streams. I'm surprised how well the streams do after the fact the streams are over. Like, they get a lot of views later. The Ender 3 is not getting a Switchwire mod. It is staying in Ender 3. I got it, so I have an Ender 3. So it's going to stay in Ender 3 for a while, if not forever. Just because everyone keeps asking that. I installed Clipper on my Ender 3 after watching your stream yesterday. Doing my first print now. Good luck. Good luck. What's going on about motors? I don't see the BIQ hot end lasting long. Many of the gears are plastic and at the high spin rate it needs with the little motor. I see them wearing out fast. An interesting idea. So you got to remember, Bondtech BMGs use nylon gears. They're probably nylon. Hopefully they're nylon. If they're just like injection molding ABS, they might have an issue. But if it's like CF nylon or some form of glass filled plastic, they should be able to withstand the wear okay. As for the speeds, if it does become an issue, you would just have to limit your max speed. The printers I see people putting those on are probably not high speed rate printers to begin with. We shall see. I don't know. I don't have one. If I do get my hands on one, I will certainly test it. Like, I've been printing on this guy all day. And by all day, it's an Ender 3, so I got 2 little prints done because it's an Ender 3. But I did this little dragon guy. So I wanted to test something with supports. And then I did another benchy with the actual straight up stock Prusa or Cura sliding. For those that are using BMGs, is there anything worth upgrading to? So personally, I like belted extruders for Bowden, simply for the fact with Bowden, you're usually running longer retracts. And with longer retracts, belted is quieter and you don't have to worry about play in the gears, like backlash essentially. But for direct feed, it's so close, it's like, eh. You all want to see an Ender 3 to Switchwire conversion. Okay, but then the problem is I can't do stuff on Enders. Like, I know I do a lot of stuff on Vorons, and believe me, most of these are Vorons. I'm a fan of Vorons. But I am trying to make somewhat of an effort to branch the channel up to be not Voron entirely. I got to broaden my horizons. Plus, building Vorons are expensive, and if I keep building them, I'm going to run out of money. So we got to do the other stuff occasionally. Like, honestly, the only difference between, like, an Ender 3 conversion to Switchwire and the Switchwire is the frame is slightly different, and some of the printed parts are slightly different. Wiring it up and pretty much assembling everything is pretty much the same. So, just kind of watch the videos of me building this with, like, a little bit of Vaseline on the screen to smudge it a bit, and you won't be able to tell the difference, probably. Resin printer next. So here's my thing with printers. I have no problem spending money on printers that I will use, either personally or I know I want. The problem with a resin printer is I have zero need for one IRL. Like, so if I get a resin printer, it'll be strictly for doing resin printer content for the channel. It's like the Ender 3. I had no desire to ever buy one, but I did kind of want one so I could make stuff for the channel. So because Banggood's like, do you want one? I'll take one, yeah. But when it comes to a resin printer, it'll be the same situation. If somebody sends me one, I'll use one. But at this point, I can't justify the expense of getting one, along with all the stuff that having a resin printer entails. Doesn't mean I wouldn't mind playing with one. It's just I can't justify getting one anytime soon. Having some good cheaper printers on the CV looks good. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that they start with an ender or they only have an ender. So that's why I want the ender, because like part 4 of my intro to ABS series is going to be doing a bunch of tips and tricks and like stuff that kind of doesn't deserve a full video. I'm going to try and film it on the ender, because that's what a lot of people will be trying to print ABS Voron parts with. 1 second here. I'm trying to get notifications to pop up. There we go. Okay. Maybe notifications are up. I don't know. I'm not going to have shelf space for Melty Boy. I did a little bit of playing around. Let me see here. Okay, try not to drop anything. I dropped like a part earlier today and I spent like 10 minutes looking for it. So as it is right now, let's see here. So I would move that there, that there. So if I put them on an angle, okay, here's the problem with the Ender 3. It's fat. This stupid screen takes up so much room. It bumps it out so much. That can go like that. That can go like that. That can go like that. I'm going to have to put spool holders up top, unfortunately. Ugh. Toasty Boy is going to be the same size as a V2, as 26 here. It's going to be tight. Yeah, we'll figure something out. I don't know, maybe I'll put a shelf and put these guys on a shelf. We'll see. I do have the bottom shelf. I do have the whole bottom shelf under here. That's literally empty right now. That's just stuff sitting there. Ender 3 V2s on the top extrusion with a longer ribbon. Well, here's the thing. I have a board coming for it that won't be able to use that screen, so I might just remove it. And the thing is, removing the screen only saves you ½ an inch because the adjustment knob sticks out so far. Okay, but this isn't the Ender stream. This is the wrong camera stream. This camera stream. Why are you on this side? Oh, that's right, I moved it. You go over there. Go over there. And you go over there. No, full screen. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Right, right, right. There we go. Close enough. Okay. So we're building the M4 extruder. Okay. So I have all the printed bits here. And for those that don't know, you can print a left-hand and a right-hand version of this. So I printed both because we're going to have two. I don't know where I'm going to mount them yet, either up top or probably on the side. It depends on how the Bowden tube is going to behave feeding in. So we'll have to take a look there. Bonsai to switchwire, 120 switchwire mod would only be 260 millimeters deep. Only 30 millimeters. That'd be a tiny switchwire. That would be a tiny switch wire. Like, honestly, I probably could bonsai it, but I'm not gonna, like, the bonsai is exactly what the bonsai will be forever. It's supposed to be what it is. So, M4 manual. Yes, this has a manual. If you need to know how to print it, here's all your settings. Use ABS, please. If not, some other stiff like CF nylon or something fun. So, we need to put our 80-tooth gears together. That one is, oh, that's a 9mm. I still have a 9mm? Oh, sweet. Hang on to that. Okay, so you got to deflange these. So for those that have never deflanged anything, get yourself a screwdriver. fit. And then I gotta find my bottle opener. You know, it's not drinking time yet. And that'll work. So, if you ever need to deflange a gear, put it on the screwdriver, just to hold it. Get your bottle opener, and then just pop the flange off. That's it. Easy peasy. Okay. And then we put them in, and then we use M3x8 button heads. Hopefully I have enough M3x8 button heads. And then you might just have to give it a little push just to make sure it's in. Now, do I have M3x8 button heads? Oh, there's my other M4. Okay, so judging by the fact that I didn't use M3x8 button heads, I used flat heads, I'm probably out of M3x8 button heads. Yeah, I'll just use flat heads. Hey look, one's already done. I might have to steal screws from that one. Pair of pliers will also work, yes. Basically just need anything that can pry it off. Oh, I know you can use the shorter screws too. I know about that. Like, I probably will. Like, honestly, you really only need like a couple screws. All the screws are to do is just to lock everything together. Like, if you look at it, you could see that it ain't moving already. Okay, like this is locked in there. But the screws are just to give it more, you know, metal surface area to keep it from coming loose and to prevent it from walking out. Because as you screw it in, it cuts into the plastic and the aluminum, and it just kind of snugs everything up and locks it in place. So, like, I'm trying to remember, we used to use, oh, here you go. I still have some. Little history. This is what was originally supposed to be used. It's these little flanges, and you would put the flange in, and then there was 4 screws that would just screw it down. The problem is these are nowhere near concentric enough to work accurately. Like, quality was garbage. Those were used in the original jetpack design, I think. White balance is off on this camera. Ooh, yeah, that it is. Let me, let's see what I can do. Let me play around. Configure video. I don't know what options I have. There we go. Is that any better, guys? Is that better? looks a little bit better. Yeah. Saturation a bit. I think that looks better. I don't know. Okay, everyone's saying perfect. Okay, we'll go there. Color range. Full color range. Color space. I don't know. Okay. You gotta remember, that camera is, it's a Canon Vixia. So it's the original camera that I had after the 920 before I got the Sony that I'm using right now as my main camera. But you gotta remember, it's also plugged in over the China USB 2.0 HDMI capture card thingy, which I did a video on. So if you're interested, go watch that video after the stream. But for 15, or not even 15, I think I paid $10 Canadian and like $2 shipping. It works good enough for an overhead camera. Still need to figure out what I'm putting on the wall here. I might put, I don't know, I might put pegboard. I don't know. I got this big open wall in front of me here. And I need to put something on it, because I think it's echoing a bit. Well, it is echoing. It's a big flat wall. So I'm putting a pegboard or something? I don't know. Need that, and I need to put shelves up on that wall still. But other than that, I will say I'm very happy with how this new setup turned out, especially with the wall of printers I got. So I can't really complain. Think I could use a monitor for chat. Well, so right now, let me make sure I have nothing that's can be visible. Okay, so just so you guys know, this is my current setup. So here's camera. I'll show you guys what my setup looks like as it is right now. Yeah. Making sure I don't have anything that I can't show you guys on. So I got the main monitor here. That's the one you guys see. I've got this monitor here with chat. And then I have that monitor there with OBS with my camera behind it and the good luck charm from Kinovo. Because always have your good luck charm with you. And then I got a light and some random soundproofing. So that's what I currently see. And by the way, it's not ballin'. These two cameras I paid $2 for from Office Surplus. So I paid $2 each for these. And this one was a repair. Thank you, Andre. If you ever need extra monitors and you really don't care about quality, Office Surplus stuff and like Value Village Goodwill. They usually have like random 15, 17-inch monitors that are a couple of years old, just 10 bucks, 20 bucks. Well, one of those large pulleys from the 2.4Z work. I don't have any, I don't think, left. I might have one left somewhere. It might be in the other room. But it would work. There is room. It should work. Yeah. The only thing is it's heavier, so there's more rotational moving mass. So I would go with the printed ones unless you can't print quality ones, but you could use the metal ones. You might need a longer rod. I'm not 100% certain. A longer 5mm shaft, but they should work. I don't have one on hand though, because they are all in printers, I believe. But I think it does work. It's just heavier. So with heavier, you won't be able to like run faster accelerations on the retracts. Do you need to use a silicone sock? My mosquito sock finally fell off the V2.4 after like 2 years or a year and a half. And that was the one I made out of our TV. And it's been running fine without one for a couple weeks now. So you don't really need one. But it helps a lot if you ever have a buildup on the nozzle from print sticking to it. Actually, shelf in the window. I need to, that's one thing. Like, I only have like maybe a 4-inch shelf here. Like, it isn't big enough to put anything in. Except maybe a few prints. It's just right now I just have a piece of cardboard covering it. I need to actually make a panel. Might do that tomorrow. Okay. Have I tried non-planar printing? I have not yet. The Switchwire should be able to handle it just fine because it's, you know, it's basically a Core XY gantry vertically. But the problem is the tool head. The tool head itself isn't really designed for it. It doesn't have a lot of clearance. So the tool head would have to be fully redesigned to be more V-like. So you would actually have more clearance, or you would need to use like a longer nozzle. So honestly, if you probably slapped a volcano in there just for the extra length, the problem is then you don't have the part cooling like you used to. Okay. I need the sunlight for my medicine plants. Okay, just because I'm in Canada. Okay, now we need some shafts. Hey, look, I have shafts. I gotta clean these. These are... Ugh. You can tell these were used quite a bit. These were the jetpacks when I was doing the dual extrusion testing. So they are completely gummed up with like filament from constantly having jamming issues trying to figure out how to get dual extrusion working. So give me a minute to clean these up a little bit. Okay, good enough. I used to have a nice, like, not wire brush, but a nice brush for these, but I can't find it anymore. I don't know where it went. Oh well, good enough. Okay. Is there a guide to set up dual extrusion? I'll show you the Clipper config. It's a little weird with Clipper. How it works with setting up for dual extrusion, but I'll go through the config once we get everything installed. And then I use Prusa Slicer because Prusa Slicer kind of has a lot of stuff built in for dual extrusion because it supports the MMU. So it's kind of designed with that in mind. So it can it already has a lot of the retraction stuff built into it. So we have our shaft here. Now it shows here that the shaft has like 2 flats. You can do what I do and just put a single flat down the entire shaft. So I just have a single flat going the whole length down. So how long are these supposed to be anyways? I don't even know if these use the same length. Oh, and never use a ball end Allen key on these set screws. They are so small you will strip them so easily. Yep, this one's stripped. Crud. Do I have any spare gears? Yeah, I got a strip gear. Let's see here. Yep, I'm good. For some reason I have 8 mil or the 3mm Bondtech gears too. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna need, so it needs two 50mm shafts. Do I have 50mm shafts? $60. Oh, and by the way, this is what happens when you're involved with Voron dev work for several years. You just end up with a collection of M5 shafts of various lengths. So there's a 50mm. And there's a 50mm. Or better yet, break the ball off in the screw. Yes, that can happen. I had that happen to me. It's annoying as hell, trust me. Especially when it's at the bottom of a pocket. Okay, so. So you need to put the gears on. And then they're 8mm from the end? Yes, 8mm from the end. Yeah, 8mm from the end. That'll do. Could I do a video on Clipper screen? Which one is Clipper screen? Is that the one that uses like an HDMI screen? They don't actually have any screens. I did a video on how to use a panel do with Clipper. But none with like the Clipper screen, which... Oh yeah, fun tip. If you don't have a scale, you can use your vernier as a depth mic, as long as it has a little thing that comes out of the end. So you can just kind of put that on the thing. Oh, that's too long. Oh, there you go. So you can use your scale as a depth mic. So what you can do if you need to set something at like exactly 8mm on a shaft or something, you can set your vernier for 8mm, lock it, and then push it up against, put it up against, and boom, now it's 8mm. And then go ahead and lock it in place. It's also handy if you ever need to measure the depth of a hole. Like say you're putting, something together and you don't know how deep the hole or kind of how long the screw is you need. You can just, if the hole's big enough, you can put it down the hole and measure. So. Okay, so we got that on. So now we need to put a printed spacer, which I got 2 here. which these might be a little tight actually. And then what are my flanges? They're the F flanges. 695s. I'm running out of RS ones. Yep, I only got 2 of the RS ones left. Crud. Oh well. I like using RS flanges. Like, functionally, they honestly work pretty much all the same in a 3D printer. But I like using the ones with the rubber flanges on extruders just to keep the gummy stuff out when possible. Oh, these spacers are tight. Oh wait, did I grab the wrong shafts? Yep. I forgot. Now I know why I don't use these shafts. These are size for size. These aren't shafts, these are dowels. Crud. Yep, that ain't gonna work. Crud. Crud. Yeah, these are 5mm dowels. These aren't 5mm shafts. So for those unawares, these are bang on 5mm. So if you try to put something that's 5mm in a 5mm hole, it ain't gonna fit. Now I gotta get this off. There we go. Okay, so you have 2 options when you have shafts that don't fit. Do I even have sandpaper? You can either get the right size ones, or you chuck them in a drill and sandpaper them. Sorry. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. $50. Thanks. For the 4-ton press for press fitting. Honestly, you shouldn't be excuse me, press fitting plastic parts. You're gonna have a bad time. Okay, I found some not dowels. So put the dowels aside. Make sure these fit. Wow, even these ones are tight. Oh, no, we're good. Okay, that one's good. Okay, we're good. We're good. So let's back that up and start over. Milwaukee gang, yes. You know what? My wife got these for Christmas. Like, my wife got me, I got the drill, I got the impact drill somewhere, and then I got the battery-powered circular saw. That was my wifey's Christmas gift. So I really can't complain. That doesn't have a flat on it. Because I had a DeWalt before. I still have it. But the batteries died. The charger died. And I wasn't gonna... I figured switch over to Milwaukee. A lot of people like it. So... when the Voron's not burr and Nero's gurn. Why no burr? When burr? That might work. That won't work. That won't work. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I'm gonna have to make some more of these. Makitas. Yeah, a lot of people like the Makitas too. Okay, so there we go. So we got those on. Do I have them the right way around? Yes. Okay. Now put the printed parts on, the spacers, which are probably still too tight. Yeah, these are still too tight. Show. There we go. Okay, so we got the one. And two. Hey, look, it spins. Okay, so we got those two. Yeah, put that back under there. So, we have this basically built now. The idler assembly. So, for the idlers, I already have them, but in jetpack form, so I'm just going to swap them over. And I got to clean them up. They're quite filthy. Oh my god, these are filthy. Needle bearings are still good though, so that's good. I will say one thing, you know, that when you work in a place that has a bunch of amenities and then you don't have them at home, not having an air compressor at all times. I work in a tool shop, right? So I just, you know, there's air lines everywhere. Not having that kind of sucks at times, believe me. Okay, so there's one. I gotta remember to try and keep my hands clean. I don't want to gum up the these light blue parts. Next compressor, next video, air compressor for cooling. You know what? That bird air system, a lot of people like it. I don't see the need for it. I think it's massively like overkill. I don't know. Like, yeah, it does a crap ton of cooling, but I don't print a lot of crazy ABS or PLA parts at high speeds. That would benefit it. Okay, so for putting these in, it's relatively simple. They just kind of snap in. And then you know you have them in the right way because there's cutouts. So it only goes in one way. There should be play. These float left to right. Let them float. They're supposed to float. Isn't the bird air super loud? Yes, it is, because it has an air compressor. I think a lot of people use like a fish tank one or something like that. Don't need that. Are you a mold maker? Yes. Okay, so we have these guys in. Yay, heat set time. So we gotta put that plate, that. And then these two guys. Where did I put it? Uh-oh. There it is. All the heat sets. Do heat set specs matter? Depends on where it's being used. For example, these parts right here, unlock that, are, I don't know, just over 5 millimeters thick. So if you, yeah, 5 millimeters thick. So if you were trying to use heat set inserts here that are 6 millimeters long, they're going to stick out, which may be an issue. You may run into issues too if they need to go into a blind pocket and the pocket isn't deep enough in the model. You might be melted into solid plastic, which you really don't want to be doing with heat set inserts. They're meant to go into a specific size hole. So you do need to use the kind of the right size. Maker Viking, hello! You joined us at the best time of the stream when I put heat set inserts into things, because we love heat set inserts in Voron land. In fact, let me give you a better view so you can see the fumes rising off everything. These go in the back. What city in Southern Ontario I am in? Look at Southern Ontario, and as southern as it goes. South Detroit, basically. How many do I put in? 4? 4. Maker Viking, they're actually surprisingly simple. All you do, like all I did was I have like this cheapo, this is like the cheap Amazon plug directly into the wall soldering iron. And I took the tip and then I ground it a little bit flatter so that it doesn't push all the way through. Set it for like the lowest temperature. So I set mine for 220C. You just want it warm enough that it can melt the plastic, not burn it. And then you can either, you can either line them up by hand and then push them in. But usually what I do is I kind of pick it up with them and then you just push them in straight. And then once they're below the surface, you don't shove them in, just push them in. And then once they're below the surface, you're done. And they only go in one way. There is like a little taper to them, the proper ones. And then as long as the printed parts are designed for heat set inserts, they actually go in pretty straight because you're not forcing them in. And they travel the path of least resistance, right? Now, if you're trying to shove them in a hole that's not meant for it, that's when I see people put them in cocky, like all cockeyed and crooked. That's it. Oh, having a wired lab is getting annoying quick. When is the Prusa build stream? I don't have a Prusa. I don't have plans to buy a Prusa. If Josef Prusa wants to send me a Prusa, I will gladly build one, because I think they are good machines. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against Prusas. It's just, I'm not going to be buying one. Is the hum still? It's not the buzz, it's the hum, and I think it's done. The hum was Zug Island. It was something going on Zug Island with one of the metal foundries there. Adjustable temp witchcraft. Yet, Nero, yet. Well, I'm a sub 10,000 subscriber Andy, right? So I don't think I have that kind of pull yet to get free Prusas. I'm Ender level of free stuff at this point. And it's not even free. I still have to, like, I have to do a video on it as part of the get a printer. Ooh, wrong screen. Okay, so now we got to put these in, and it actually goes together relatively simple. So pick one, because they're pretty much the same. Goes in. Should somewhat snap into place, or at least be held in position. And then, I think that one, yeah. We got a left hand and right hand side. Oop, wrong one. Nope, that is the right one, yep. Goes through there. That doesn't want to go in. Why is, oh, I see, it's burred up a bit. Do I have... This was my first time printing with KVP, so I don't exactly have my settings dialed in for it perfectly yet. I know I got one. So some of the areas, the overhangs were a little crappy. There we go. Okay. That goes like that. That goes like that. Then that goes like that. But with another bearing. And then I'm going to put my little Bowden clip in right now. Actually, make sure it fits. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So we're good there. Filament path is clean. for those that don't know, you should check to make sure your filament actually goes through this assembly before you put it together. Mine does, because my printers are dialed in. So as long as your printer is dialed in, it'll fit through. But if your filament doesn't go through this part freely, you are going to have to run a drill through it. Just run like a, whatever smallest drill you have that's bigger than 1.75 millimeters through it. There we go. So we got like a sandwich thingy here. How is the Ender experience so far? That's printed. I've only printed like 3 things with it so far. Switchwire uses Prusa parts. Yes and no. It uses the bed pretty much because the bed it's a good bed. It's a good bed for a bed flinger in that size. But you can use any bed. 777 Hibs. Just subbed. I've watched several of your videos and they are generally educational, even if I never intended on building a Voron. Good work, sir. Thank you. I'm trying to branch stuff out a little bit to make it a little less to make it more Voron agnostic. I'm still going to be building a lot of Vorons, don't get me wrong, but I am trying to kind of make stuff more generalized because I know a lot of people that don't have Vorons watch my stuff, so I'm kind of trying to make everyone happy. A good tutorial is a good tutorial, regardless of what printer. Okay, so I need M330s. Hey, look, M330s. Actually, no silver. Okay, silver or black hardware? Should I use silver screws or black screws? Because I might have enough silver to do silver. Let me check. I might not, actually. I do not. Okay, so it's going to be black. I don't have enough silver. I think I used them all in the... Oh, no, maybe. Oh, there they are. Why does it the 2.4 manual spec nylock nuts? I saw them in 2.2 and used them when I could. What happened? Why did they discontinue the recommended? Because we found they weren't really needed. If you do worry about your screws coming out in certain locations, put a little dab of Loctite. The problem we had is a lot of people, depending on where you sourced your nylocks from, were actually the nylocks were too, they offered too much resistance and people were spinning the nuts in place. This happened a lot on your joints where the gantry attaches to the Z rails. A lot of people were just spinning the nylocks trying to put them in because they were buying nylocks from wherever. So we just recommend use just regular screws and nuts. And if you're worried about the screw coming loose in certain locations, just put a little dab of Loctite on it or nail polish. You want to see what it looks like with black? Well, there. Black screw or silver? I'm thinking silver. Put my face behind it so it focuses on it. There you go. I'm thinking silver. What color Loctite? The weakest. I use nail polish. Yeah, we're gonna go with silver. I think I have it. Yeah, we're going with silver. There we go. See if Banggood would send me an IDEX. We'll see. How it works with Banggood is they'll pretty much reach out to anyone who's like any sort of YouTube content creator. And they'll send you stuff based on how much money you make them, basically. So since, like, the first thing they sent me was an SKR V2, like an SKR Mini V2. So pretty basic and whatnot. I got a little piece of plastic I gotta try and get out of here. But apparently enough people bought stuff off my affiliate links that, there we go. That I was worthy of getting a printer. So they sent me a V2, an Ender 3 V2. I don't know why it's not popping up there. It's delayed. Waj, five pounds. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Stumbled onto your channel when I discovered Voron design and I'm hooked. Wanted to build a Voron at some point. Loving the live streams. Cheers. Thank you for loving the live streams. That's why I do them, because people find them entertaining. And you know what? They're fun to do. Maker Viking. I got 2 builds lined up. First is the Voron V0, but then I have my huge 600 Core XY. Yeah, you have the Ymir, right? You're designing your own Core XY. That's a big Core XY. Do larger belts help with ringing? So here's the thing. Now that input shaper is a thing, because for the longest time, everyone, you know, if you look at general consensus with 3D printers is, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep it in frame. You build, you know, your hot end as light as possible. You build everything super light. Well, if you look at CNC land, right? You know, people that machine, you know, CNC machines that have no problem hogging steel at 100, you know, dozens of inches a minute. Well, actually, that might be a little too much, but still several inches a minute, moving a 40,000 pound table with a 100,000 pound block of steel on it. There we go. They have no problem with, you know, several thousand pounds. So why are we running into issues with, you know, a couple pounds? Well, it's because 3D printing software and firmware is relatively dumb. Well, now we have input shaper, and with input shaper, you can cancel ringing. You can basically run, and I did it on a stream a little while ago. You can basically run a little program that does, you know, a harmonics test on your printer and allows it to cancel out the harmonics that cause ringing. So, you know, for some reason, it's almost the most popular video on my channel right now. My 14-minute benchy, that's at like 7,000 acceleration. And that's slinging around 2 MGN9 rails, extrusion, wires, 2 XY joints. So each one of those has 2, 4, so that's 8 bearings, a bunch of screws, the hot end, dual fans, and an EMA 17 and a whole Bondtech BMG, basically internal guts. And it's slinging that around. And for those that watched the live stream, we did that again at 20,000 acceleration. And you know what? If you look at the prints, there's very minimal ringing on that. So I'm theorizing that you will be able to actually go crazy now. Well, not crazy, but you might be able to push Core XY a little bit more than you used to with input shaper. CNC machines also have the concrete base. Well, yeah, that's true. Don't get me wrong. They're made out of cast steel for a reason, or cast iron. But they also have software that allows them to do all the compensating and whatnot for ringing and vibrations and whatnot. So if they can do it, why can't a 3D printer do it? But yeah, Maker Viking. Ymir probably actually, if you're running Clipper on it, I hope you are, you probably will I'm very interested to see how Input Shaper tunes on that and how it performs. That's going to be super interesting, honestly. Like, I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. Got the sensor for Input Shaper a few days ago, so I already got that ready for the V0. Nice. All it is just, it's a hooray for, you know, Nintendo and the Switch and quadcopters for making accelerometers dirt cheap. Because all it is just an ADXL, what, 3405 or something like that? It's just a really cheap accelerometer. And then all you do is you just make up a wiring loom for it, and you can reuse it on all your printers. Because you only need it in the printer once for the first initial setup, right? I'm running an afterburner on my Core XY under 5 and get up to 15K Excel with a lot of ringing, though. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can tell a printer to run at any speed. It's just, you might not like the results. Like, I put up a video today for my Patreons and YouTube members. So if you're not a YouTube member or Patreon, you should definitely sign up. But it's just some close-up footage of the Ender 3 going. And I'm just watching. I'm like, oh my god. So slow. Using Clipper on your mirror. Nice. Okay, so that opens up. Yep, I forgot to put the other Ooh, I am running out of these guys. I need to buy more. Holy crap. I got one. I have one left. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm running low on these. I gotta buy more of these little press fit voting connectors. Okay. So, back to the manual. So we have it, that is put together. So the thumb screw. So here's the thing. I don't have the thumb screw, okay? You can buy these standalone. They come with the, ooh, wrong camera, sorry. What the heck's going on? Come on. There we go. Okay. So I don't have the thumb screw, okay? You can buy these standalone. They come with the BMG kits, either legit or clone. But I don't have any extras. So what I have is literally some random spring that I can't remember where I got from, and a nut, or a regular screw. And then use a washer so it doesn't, the screw doesn't dig into it. And then you just put that on. And that's all you got to do. Now this is obviously too long because this was on a jetpack. But that's basically all you got to do is just use a screw and a spring. Just something to put tension on it, essentially. So, let's see what size screw I got. Yeah, that'll work. go. Then it opens up, feeds your filament through, and then lock it down. Easy peasy. I remember seeing somebody do this with a, back in the early days of the original Mobius, using just, I think, elastic bands because they didn't have a spring. But it's just got to be enough to put tension on it. And then you can adjust it. Okay, that one locks. There we go. Easy peasy. How much tension is enough? What I do is basically loosen it off all the way. Okay. Get it started. And then basically go to the point that when you pull on the filament and you're keeping it from spinning, like it's not moving. Like if you start, you know, ripping filament, then you probably have too much. And if you start, it's kind of a feel thing. It just, honestly, it's mostly feel. Just enough tension that it's, you know, it's grabbing the filament and not chewing it up, essentially. Let me see here. Let me grab some filament to show you. Okay, so we got our filament. Open it up. Okay, so we got it feeding through. Lock it down. And then I can't spin it by hand. Put one of these on for now. So see, okay, so now the filament's moving by hand, right? So if I hold on to the filament and I try to put it in, it should like pull it through your hand, but not chew it up. Okay? Because it's, remember, it's got to pull on, it's got to unravel the spool. So you do need some tension on it, right? And then, you know, just feed it out, take a look at the gears, make sure it's not chewing it up. Oh, hey, that looks good enough. Done. That's all it is. That's it. Okay. So next step in is put on the... Oh, okay, put it on at this point. So we're going to put it back on. Make sure you got it lined up with the flat. And tighten it. Oh, one second here. What is going on? Gonna push plastic tonight, that's the plan. Actually taking this off just so I can make sure alignment's still good on everything. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now, when you put these on, this should go on and bottom out. You don't want it floating because this is your end stop. So right now there's play in the, it floats a little bit because the spacer is only on the one side. You don't need a spacer on the other side once you get this in. So you have your bearing basically pushing it like it's centered on this plate essentially. So when you put the 80 tooth on, you have to make sure it's down all the way. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. Where do you get your metric screws from in Canada? I work in a tool shop and used to be able to just get them from Fastenal directly. But what I can say is if you're looking for simple, you can buy like these generic packs off at Amazon that come with most sizes. And then buy like bulk packs of like M8s off like AliExpress or something if you need to. There are, I can't remember the name. If you go to the Canadian section of the Voron Discord, there might be something pinned still for sourcing, but there were sources for a while. What items do you think having in bulk? Consumables and screws. So screws, belts, bearings. Go. M38s. Yes, order like 300 M38s. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You want to come in? Sit. Come here, sit, sit. Go to sit, sit. Just shake paw. Oh, yeah. Say hi for the camera. No, that's it. Get back here. Ah, kisses. Oh, sit. Kisses. Good boy. Say hello. Speak. You gonna speak? Don't break the mic. Oh. You just want attention, eh? You know if you come in here, you get attention now. Always a good boy. I can't read that. I'll see it in a second. Okay. Go back to mama? Okay, go back to mama. Now I'm covered in dog hair again. Okay, sorry I missed that. Brian B, 2099. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Doggo. Yes, doggo. Parang. Hello from Reddit. Hello. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. ETQN $1. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Oh, you got a picture of a dog too. Can I see? Oh, I can't zoom in. I can't see that. That's a cute doggo. What? By the way, E2. What does that name even mean? Is that like some random? Is that your Bitcoin wallet or something? Like, what does that mean? Okay, next part of the manual. So we're up to here. That's all assembled. Put our pulley on, put that on, and then that. Okay, so basically we put the gear on the motor on the body, put some screws in it, and then you tighten everything up. I think it uses 16 tooth, right? It uses a 16 tooth, right? It's got to be a 16. Yeah, it's 16 tooth. Or is it 20 tooth? Can't remember. I think it's 20 tooth, isn't it? Yeah, it's 20 tooth because it's 4-to-1. Wait, I have one assembled. Yeah, that's a 20 tooth. Trying to figure stuff out the hard way. It's a random throwaway name for YouTube back when I first started YouTubing. Never changed it and it's stuck. Doggo learns quick. Doggo appears human, makes money. Doggo gets treats. Okay, actually. Leave that wired up, bundled up for now. At least it's not edgy middle school. You know you could change your YouTube account name. I've changed mine like 3 times. The only thing that doesn't change is the URL. When you like your homepage URL, but you can actually make it a custom one if your channel gets big enough. Because like mine is named, my YouTube account's named after my World of Warcraft character back in 2006 when I created my YouTube account. So. Okay, so I gotta figure out where I'm gonna mount this. So that's the outlet. So that would be this side. So this is probably gonna go right here then. Yeah, so I'll have the wire go down. Yeah, that's got to go there. So that'll probably go there, because there's no way I can mount it up top here. So yeah, that'll probably go on the side, and then the Bowden will come out and down. It's the only thing I could think of for mounting it. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. How much could cost to build the printer I'm building? You can build a Switchwire from scratch cheaper than you could buy a Prusa Mark III. So in Canada, a Prusa Mark III is about $1,000. I think I spent just under that building this guy. So when you put these screws in, you don't put them in tight. So you leave them loose for now. So you put your 12 mil in there. And then what is it? M316s. Which are these guys. With washers. Because you moved your motor to tension the belt. Now I have to print cable covers for the wires. In person, the blue is darker for sure. It's definitely darker. Okay. And then the 188 mil belt loop, which I got a bunch of them. Because the jetpack used like 150s. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to have to move that. Oh yeah, that's way. There we go. Okay. So there is a little notch here for getting your Allen key in there. So you can tighten up your belts or tighten up your set screws. And make sure you are Loctiting them or putting something on them just to make sure they don't come loose down the line. How about my 2.4? 2.4, it depends on where you are in the world. Honestly, if you're going to build a 2.4, I'd budget at least 1,200. More if you don't have any, if you've never built like a printer before and you don't have any of the tools. Oh, and then to tighten the belt, so right now the belt's all nice and, you know, loosey-goosey. You just shift your motor. Just pivot it and then tighten the screws. Spin a few times, make sure everything moves freely. Good there. And that's it. So that is one jetpack assembled. My 2.4 cost closer to 2K. Here's the thing, like I built my original V1 or my V2 what, almost 2.5 years ago now, and that was an original V2.0, and then I've upgraded it to every revision since. So I haven't like sat down and actually costed out building one from scratch in a while, because I haven't had to. Size. And unfortunately, like, in terms of the cost, a lot of people see them as, like, expensive. We try, like, the designers, there is really, like, no fat on these. Like, it is what it is, because there's really nothing we can really do to try and cost it down without removing stuff. Like, it has quad gantry leveling with a flying gantry. The only way you can save the cost on that is to remove it, because it is cheaper than lead screws. If I save up, I should have enough for a Voron 3. There is no Voron 3. There is no V3. What's the advantage of a belt-driven extruder over a direct on the stepper Bowden setup? So here's the thing. I have nothing against geared extruders. Geared extruders are better when they're manufactured, right? Like the good old-fashioned Wade's extruder with printed gears. There's backlash. Yeah, you could go to herringbone design to kind of compensate for that, but there's still going to be too much of a variance. I like belted for Bowden because it's belted. There's no backlash at all, and it's quieter. So with the longer retractions of a Bowden setup, the quietness and the zero backlash are, well, there is still backlash, but it's so small because you're only dealing with like the flex in the belt at that point. I just find it better personally, but you literally could just slap a Bondtech BMG on the side of this thing and call it a day if you really wanted to. What version would you recommend? It 1.8 or 2.4? It really depends on what you're doing and what you're looking to get out of your printer. I'm not a huge fan of this whole mentality when it comes to 3D printer of which one's the best. I'm only going to buy the best because, okay, go buy a Honda Civic. Why should you buy any other car but a Honda Civic? It's going to get you from A to B on the road. It's got 4 wheels, it's got an engine. But why would you get a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry or a Ford Focus or any other random 4-door sedan? It's take a look at them all. Which ones you like? Which ones have features that you like? Which one's in the color you like? Which one's in your budget? Buy that one. What was it? Joel, 3D printing nerd. He had this nice little printer out, and well, not little, but it was a massive printer. I think it was like 600 by 600 by 70 in terms of print volume. And the whole reason the printer existed was to print letters for signs. It's a thing in China, I guess, where they print the letters in 2 different colors. They put like either a clear resin on top or a pre-cut thing on top. You light it up with an LED, and that's what it's meant to do. It is meant to print signs. It's a consumer or prosumer commercial level printer. And you look in the comments and somebody's asking, can I buy this and can I modify it to have a higher Z so I can print stuff? It's like, it's not the point. It's not the point. Mine and my wife cars are Fords, so I'm not a Honda boy. Hey, let's mount this on a printer. During last stream, I thought you mentioned something about a future printer that can handle higher temp filaments. Did I hear that right? You're talking about Toasty Boy. So what Toasty Boy, Toasty Boy is not a high temp printer. It is a higher temp printer. Most higher temp materials, ABS, nylons, polycarbonate, that kind of stuff, are better the hotter you can print them, okay? So most people, you throw a cardboard box on your printer, you enclose it with plexiglass, right? Like the Vorons, you're getting about 50 degrees Celsius. But the thing is, if you can print it at 70 degrees Celsius, the prints are gonna come out better, they're gonna come out stronger, you're gonna have better results. So it's a printer designed to print materials that require enclosures to the best of their abilities. It is not a high temp printer. It's not going to have a separate chamber heater. We're not printing peak on it, but it's meant to be. It's a Voron V1 that'll be modified by going crazy on the enclosure and a few other things. But it's pretty much going to be starting off with a stock Voron V1, and it's going to be built around getting the most out of materials that do benefit from higher chamber temperatures. So. Can parts be CNC'd? A Chinese company already did that. So you can buy all the Voron parts in CNC. Is it worth it? That remains to be seen. Because, put it this way, if your whole gantry is, rigid as all hell, and you do a Z negative China, what's gonna happen? Because something's gonna give, and with ABS parts, they'll give a little bit, and then they'll bounce back when you realize what you did, kill the power, and raise your gantry back up. But when everything is, CNC'd aluminum, odds are they're not going to bend and go right back. Something's going to break. Hey, let's put this on the printer. Is that a personal project or a Voron design? Toasty Boy is a V1. It'll be a 250 millimeter spec V1. So it is just a standard V1 that I will be doing a few things to it so that it can handle higher temp materials better. And by that, I'm going to be enclosing the heck out of it. We might be playing around with some stuff to get it convection heating a little bit better. So moving the air around inside the chamber for more efficient heating and thing. But it's going to be a spec V1. Like it's not a mod. It's not like a full-on conversion. It's just going to be a spec V1 with a few bells and whistles strapped to it. So, can you print the Voron parts in PETG on an Ender 3? You can print them in any material. The problem is with PETG, if you run your Voron enclosed, what can happen with PETG is it does get weaker the hotter it gets, okay? So what can happen, and I've seen this a lot on V1s, because a lot of people printed V1s back in the day, before the community grew up, and everyone started, you know, don't build them in PET. You would get what's called pull through. So areas where the plastic is under constant tension. So think about on a printer with like the V0, where the bed mounts and you have the springs, okay? The springs are constantly pushing on the plastic, okay? And it gets relatively warm there if this was enclosed, right? You got your bed at 100 Celsius, it's fully enclosed. So this plastic's gonna get pretty warm. What's gonna happen is the screw underneath and the springs are just gonna smush the plastic out of the way eventually. Stuff like XY joints, where there's constantly tension on the plastic. With PET, once it starts to get warm, you start to get pull through after a while. Now, depending on the blend of PET, what kind of temperatures it is, how it was printed, you might be fine for a long time and never have an issue, or it might fail within a couple weeks to a couple months, right? PET, remember, I'm going to say the line, is used in outside of 3D printing for water bottles and pretty much water bottles only. You don't see car parts in PET for a reason. Like PET as a structural material is not common. In fact, you don't even see PETG outside of 3D printing, honestly. At least I've never, and I work with plastics. Okay, so we got dual jetpacks. So I'm hoping this is a good spot to mount them. When I make the flow cube for calibration, the wall thickness is 0.8. Make sure you have your nozzle set for 0.4 millimeter diameter, not like 0.45. A lot of slicers set it for like a higher than your actual nozzle diameter. So make sure your nozzle diameter is set for 0.4 millimeters, and make sure you tell it to do 2 walls. And make sure there's no like compensation for overlap or anything on. You technically could do it with like 1 wall. It's just, I find doing it with 2 walls, you get like, excuse me, especially with most cheaper verniers, because it's a larger size, you have a little bit more chance of getting a more accurate reading because it's like a larger sample size essentially. Because you're doing it for 2 walls versus 1 wall. Creep, the term used for materials that changes over time. Yes, like it does experience material deformation due to heat-induced stress over time. I just call it pull through because a lot of people don't know all the fancy terminology when it comes to materials. So when I say pull through, you think of the screw pulling through. It's just easier to get the point across, I find. Okay, Bowden. Do I have Bowden tubes? So the thing is, what I got to worry about with this setup is, so at Z0, so way down there, when I go to max, this is what I got to worry about. Mobile cam, this right here. So we got the Bowden tube touching the belt, and we got it caught on that corner. That is no good. So I need to make sure my Bowden tube is long enough that don't happen. Really, at this point, I should be wiring it up first before playing with Voron tubes. But whatever. We might have to do a screw counting stream at some point. Voron tube. Belt. Would PET last long enough to print the parts out of ABS if you don't have an enclosed printer? Yes. Like, I printed my original V1 in PET back in the day, and then I reprinted it right away in ABS. What I would recommend is try printing ABS on your Ender. Xerox OS. Thank you for becoming a member. See, Twitch has it easier. I just say subscriber, but it doesn't have that in thing. I might have to put a little printed guide there. We shall see. So I will say the downside to this setup. Oh yeah, sorry. Going back to the question. Try to print ABS. Get yourself some eSun ABS Plus if you can get your hands on it. I have some videos on my channel. I'm in the middle, well, almost done the series on how to print ABS. You should be able to print. You can print ABS on an Ender 3. Literally put it in your closet or put a cardboard box on it. That's all you really need to do to print eSun ABS on it. So. Move M4 higher. That's as high as it goes. Like, it's as high as it goes. I like having a mobile cam. Like, I can't go up any higher. The extrusion's there. You know what? Oh, you see that hole? Ho 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ooh, everyone's saying, Victor, thank you for becoming a member. Where are you? Oop, something unplugged. Did I lose the mic? Nope. Okay, where are you? Where are you? There you are. Who knows what I'm going to be doing? Oop. 1 second. Because it is aluminum and it taps butter easy. I just don't want to get chips into there we go, onto the extruder or into the, you know, anything sensitive. Because I got a motor down there. But yes, we will be doing a tap. Ooh, Yuri978, $9.99. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the great streams. You've got me convinced to build a Switchwire. Awesome. It's good to hear. It is a fun build. It's a very simple build. It's honestly not that hard of a build. Tap it, tap, tap. Yes, NerQ, I am going to tap that. Wish I brought my aluminum magnet though to pick up all these chips, but left it at work. Do I have recommendations for cable chains? I recommend what the sourcing guide recommends. If you could get the IGUS and you're okay with spending the money, get the IGUS. If not, I use the China chains. The problem with the China chains, they're kind of a little stiff at first, as you can see, but they work just fine. Just got to be careful because they're usually not as smooth and chamfered as the higher quality stuff. You have another M4 on the other side. I know I do. I can only tap one hole at a time. There we go. And there we go. Might take a picture of that for future reference. There we go. Aluminum magnet, aka the vacuum. Pretty much. No, it's in the other room. Yeah. I do have a vacuum down here, like a mini shop vac, but it's downstairs. Or it's in the other room. I am downstairs. So what you can do, aluminum you can tap dry. It's aluminum, it's weak. But what you can do is with your tap, you can put a little bit of grease on it. One, that'll help a little bit with tapping the metal. And two, what that'll do is it'll kind of keep the chips stuck to it instead of going everywhere. So I know I have some, grease somewhere. Yeah. That sounded great. That grease is totally decomposed. What happens when you buy dollar store grease? In the garbage. Oh yeah, this side now. Nope. Grab that. Use carbon fiber tube instead of PTFE in your hot end. This is an all metal hot end, so it's fine having PTFE go into it. Don't need to worry about a carbon fiber tube in it. Yes, WD-40 also works fine with tapping aluminum. Personally, I like using just a little bit of grease, and really any grease works, because the chips stay stuck to the tap then, instead of, going everywhere. And then you just wipe them off. Put the tap away. But yes, that's one of those random things that I recommend if you, something to add to your toolkit is get a set of taps. You don't have to get super expensive taps, especially for aluminum and plastic, but get like M3, M5 at least, or just buy the kit that comes with a bunch of random ones and for like a cheap tapping kit. Aluminum tap's easy. And also having like an M3 tap on hand is really nice for a lot of plastic parts when you try to print threads in it. Depending on your printer, it might not go too well. And then what you can do, you can just run an M3 tap through it, or an M5 tap, whatever it is, just to clean them up. And that usually is enough. Like I've had to do it in the past, so having just a basic tap set on hand is nice to have. I wish I had an air gun to blow that out properly, but I do not have an air gun because I don't have an air line down here. There we go. Okay, don't need this. What the heck? Oh, that's that. Okay. What hot end is used? This has a dragonfly. So this has a Fetus dragonfly, which if you're interested in, I did do a review on it on my channel. But all my printers have full metal hot ends. Even the Bonsai has an all metal V6 clone in it. Oh yeah, that's so much better. There we go. So right about there. Where is my kniff? Voila. Not super tight. I could probably shorten it a little bit. And I will do that. There's that. So we're good. We got the full range of motion. It's not too tight on there. Yeah, I'll shorten it a little bit. And then if it's good, I'll make the other one the same. If I mounted the extruder in the center, I could use... What do you mean put it in the center? Do not use the Allen keys. Yeah, anytime you get Allen keys with anything, especially from China, just throw them right in the bin. If doing direct drive upgrade from Bowden, join late, sorry. No, this is my Bowden machine. This is the one printer I have, well, other than the Ender 3 now, that is Bowden. And the reason it's Bowden is because it has two inlets. It has a Y splitter. So. Okay, so the only problem I'm worried about is if I have it here and it's over there, it's touching these belts, okay? You gotta be very careful because it has these belts are like, wow, why are you not focusing? Where is 20 properties? Yes, I shake. Camera control, focus, autofocus. Autofocus is on. Why are you still focusing? Okay, whatever. But yeah, so these guys, if these get bumped or rubbed against, it's going to affect the print. Same with the ones up here. So right here, I think is okay because it can go up and over. If I had it lower, I'd be worried about them bumping that because I can only angle it at the top here. I can't angle it lower. Terrence, sup? Hello there. I think he means the rear of the horizontal extrusion. Oh, in the middle of the upright bar. Well, here, let's pop one out and take a look here. So I got the one tube cut to length for what it would be here. Okay, so you're saying up top in the middle? Like that? Because if I angle it, then I only have one mount point. Yeah, because if I put it here, I only have one mount point, and yeah, it would be a little bit shorter. Yeah, it'd be about 3 inches shorter. But yeah, I would only have the one mount point, and I don't want to have it just on one mount point. And then if I have it coming off that way, it's going to hit the belt. So yeah, I'll keep it on the side like that. Plus, I kind of like the look of it on the side like that. Yes, okay, so yeah, the Ender 3 doesn't have an all-metal hot end, obviously, because it's stock right now. That will probably be changed in the future. Simply so I can print ABS on it, because I can't print ABS on it until I do that. Link on Discord for a dual mat. Okay, I'll look at it later. I'll run it like this for now. So I can shorten that a little bit, chamfer it, and put it on. But yeah, I am gonna run it. You know, it'll be fine as is. Trust me. Go back and remember, people ran Bowden setups on 350 millimeter tall V2.2s for like a year, and it worked just fine. And those Bowden tubes were a heck of a lot longer than what I'm dealing with right now, so. Remember, we got like clipper and input shaper and all the fun magic tools that we have at our disposal now. Pressure advance. Plug in there, and you plug in there. Yeah, that works. Okay. Make another one just as long. There is an orbiter mount. That the one Teaching Tech just did a video on. There. Like that I'm working on my printer while I'm watching him work on his completely different printer. I have the controller hooked up, so I can't do it as fast, but can your printer do this? That one wants to touch the belt, but I'm sure once I have filament in there, it won't do that anymore. Oh well. If I need to, I'll fiddle with it later. It's good enough for now. Okay. So, We need to get these wires going somewhere. So I'm going to have to put an extension on that one, obviously. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to extend both these. Dang it. Let's see. I do have this one already made. So that one will go there. Okay. Does anyone know offhand what the order of these wires are? Are they the same color pattern as the OMC ones? So those are the, I think these are the high temp ones. So I'm assuming the colors are the same. Black, green, red, blue. Black, green, red, blue. Okay, works for me. One, two, three, four. It's the same as the password to my luggage. I hate when it doesn't strip all the way. There we go. Okay, come on. Okay, where's my wiring kit? No, that is, yeah, because those are those. Okay, wrong side. Cripper. Ender 3 V2 stream. Your printer should come with an SD card. I still have the garbage here. I could dumpster dive through it. I didn't see it anywhere. I did go through the bags. I didn't see one. I'm honestly not too concerned about it. Like, I have plenty of small SD cards and they're not that expensive if I need to buy some. Plus usually ones that come with the printers are pretty garbo anyways from what I understand. So not too concerned. I've moved past the want to print the crappy dog anyways, so I'm sure I'll live. Yeah, I could do a conductivity test. Oh, crud. Yeah, I just crushed the end of that one. Hopefully it's still okay. Yeah, it's still good, hopefully. I hate when I do that. When you're crimping a bunch of wires next to each other and you don't realize one of the little prongs or whatever kind of found its way into the jaws as you're crimping one. It's like, why does this feel well? Ah, I just broke one. When you wake up at 4 a.m. and think I could catch a few minutes at least. Oh. What are you doing up at 4 a.m., man? Where are you in the world where it's 4 a.m.? Like, no, not Poland. Where the heck are you where it's 4 a.m. right now? I dropped a 4-cavity 4-liter PET mold once. It bounced. I have seen a 60,000-pound rocker panel mold. Well, I didn't see it. I seen the aftermath of it because I had to fix the tool of a 60,000-pound rocker panel mold fall on a forklift. Luckily, nobody was in said forklift at the time, but yeah. Big bada boom. So we got red, or black, green, red, blue. Okay. 4 a.m. in Germany. Oh yeah, Europe's 5 hours ahead. Well, England's 5 hours ahead, and it's 10:15 right now. Oh man, this is later than I thought. I was hoping this wouldn't take that long. Okay. So, that goes across there. I'm gonna have to extend this one. Dang it. Oh, hey, look, I got a pre-made setup already. So, put you under the hood here. And I think I have one, yeah. So you can go there just to kind of keep you in the right spot. Flip this over. I guess you can rest there. That was for the wrong one. Crud. I thought the controller board was closer. It is not. It is not. That ain't gonna work. This is the boring part of the stream, guys. This one is for this one. Here, let's change it up. Instead of it's I know it's the boring part of the stream. Let's put some yeah, there we go. Change the music. There you go. Turn it up a little bit. There we go. So you guys don't fall asleep. I can't have you falling asleep while I run wires. breakfast time. I do have a nice bottle of scotch I might crack into after the stream. I'm surprised it took this long. I did not think it would take this long to build the two M4 extruders. But as always, for those that are frequent viewers of the channel, you know I always run into some dumb little issue that drags things out. That's the trick. I gotta do content every Saturday night. If I do it too quick, I run out of stuff to do. I can only do counting screws on stream once. I don't think you guys will buy it twice. Counting screws to electric boogaloo. Pretty much. Okay, so go there, you go under the hood. Where'd you go? There you go. I will say having extruders on the side makes this not as easy as before. So this is extruder 0. That's a lot of extra slack. Oh well. So will this fit? Yeah, that won't reach across either. Shoot one. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Why did I cut those wires short? Why'd you guys tell me I had the wrong one at first? Why is everyone raising their hands up? Oh, music. Like, what's going on? Okay, so flip you back up, knock everything over. Okay, so we have to make this go to here because I'm a genius and I cut the wires too short. Bravo! Let's see if I have an extra pre-made loom somewhere. No, that's too short. Come on, I gotta have one somewhere. That's an extension cable. Nope, that's I guess. Nope, nope, nope. Woo. Oh, that's where that went. Okay. Well, close. So on the downside, I didn't find any wire that I can use. Well, I did find a little bit. But on the upside, I found my golden eye. For some reason, this was in my bin of random wire. Yeah! I'm just gonna solder them, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna solder them. I don't want to put another connector on here. Do I have my own Discord? I created a Discord just so nobody can snipe it, but I do not think I have the community size enough to sustain a separate Discord. So at this point, no. If you do need to find me on Discord, I do hang out. I am in the 3DP Discord, and I am in the Voron Discord. But I am not in my own Discord. I wish I had a bunch of little mini butts connectors. I used to, but I lost them. That would make this a heck of a lot easier. Oh well. Any benefits to using 1/4 inch thick panels on the V2? Are you talking about on the enclosure? If so, not really, other than a lot of extra weight. Like, it will help a little bit with temperatures, but what I would personally do if you really want to, you know, trap more heat is go buy like a roll of Reflectix from like Home Depot, if you can, when it's not quarantine season, and use that instead. So use your regular, you know, panels that are spec, and then wrap Reflectix on the outside if you want to enclose it even more. If you're talking about just the fact that you already have them and you just want to use them because you already have them, then yeah, by all means, go ahead. Might as well, you know. Okay, crimping time. All the crimping. Good thing I bought more Microfit 3 connectors. So that gotta go there, and that's gonna go there. Okay, so. What is my name on Discord? It's Uber Nero. I said but. Oh yeah, and I am in the main sale Discord, although I don't really check that one too often. I'm more of a hardware guy than a software guy. What are we at right now? Got 136 people watching me crimp wires. I always love that. I know you're here for the music, but, and for the potential of the doggo showing up again. But that's what happens when you stream every Saturday night, which I am going to try and stream every Saturday night this year. Or at least once a week. But sometimes you get low points, like right now when I'm crimping extensions on wires that I didn't need to because I cut it too short. You're here in case there's more sparks. Well, I haven't turned it on yet today, so we shall see. We got black, green, red, blue. Nope, I'm gonna print that bottom one. Okay, that's good there. Now I need to put fittings on here. Here for the booze because I don't like to drink alone. Well, that's the thing. Like my rule on stream is you don't build and drink at the same time. Once the printer's up and printing, I might crack one open, but it's already 10:30, so we might not be pushing plastic tonight, unfortunately, guys. We shall see. All I know is I gotta snag more of this wire next time I get a chance. This stuff's nice. It's 4 conductor wire and a nice, like, really tough sleeving. It's great for, like, these runs where the wire's out in the open, but you don't want to see random wires everywhere. It's like, I think it was from, like, a manifold at work. Like, it was wiring from one of those. I was, like, in the bin. I just grabbed it. Gotta save the whales somehow. God knows it isn't from reuse or recycling plastic that I print. Currently upgrading my 2.1 to a 2.4. It seems like I'm short. 2625 bearings. You know, the sourcing guide does not say I need more. Thoughts? Buy more bearings. We honestly recommend buying like extra of like all the multi-item stuff, so like screws, bearings, etc. For all you know, wherever you bought your bearings from might have shorted you some. You might have lost some during the rebuild, but I do recommend like just have extra bearings. Like I got a whole Acro Mills container here with drawers full of all kinds of stuff because it's nice to have stock, especially bearings. Because unfortunately, bearings are one of those things where you can just get a bad bearing or a bearing can die on you and you want to replace it. And you really don't want to be down, you know, however long it takes to get replacement bearings in. So. Okay. Show male connector. So black goes to black. And then the weird yellow. And my brown. And then blue. Those go there. This connects to there. There we go. Okay. So, cable management time. Cable management, and then power up. And then make sure it actually works. So, I do have some still. So this guy can actually sit up there just fine. So I will have you go there. And you go there. So you will actually go in first because you're ugly wire. You can go in there. clip in. Now luckily this is all hidden behind the printer, so you don't see this. Another clip. I gotta print more of these clips. Okay, so that's good enough. Flip it on side. And then get the zip ties. Good old zip ties. Hide the shame. L. Moses. Loyal Moses? I've heard that name a lot. If so, hello. And if you're not, hello. Everyone's welcome here. So I know talking to myself is insane, so at least I'm talking to other people right now. Okay. So somehow we have like 6 inches of extra wire when I didn't have extra wire before. Oh well. It's underneath the printer. I can actually put the bottom panel on now, so I can hide all this. So let's do that actually. Let's put the bottom panel on. Because I don't think we'll have time to print anything tonight, so might as well do something. Hide that there. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so I hate when that happens. There we go. So we have the bottom panel all done up, or the bottom compartment. Trying to figure out how this is supposed to mount. It's got the 2 holes. They don't go to anything. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, they just kind of get squished in there, I think. So I gotta take the feet off. We're socially distancing drinking. Let me scroll up. Yes, we're all responsible. Very responsible. I'm just on camera right now, so I gotta pretend I'm responsible. What are those feet? These are the spec feet from like forever. I think they're finally updated, so these are no longer spec feet, but it's basically compressor feet. If you go on Amazon and search compressor feet, they come up. Not hitting anything? No. Just what it is. Okay. Oh, the motors. There we go. Okay, that's fine there. That's fine there. No, that ain't right. So how am I supposed to hold this panel in? I have holes here. I gotta drill holes in this. Whatever. I'll do that later then. I gotta put some holes in it. Screw it. I'll deal with it later. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me drill holes again. Put the feet back on. Don't need a bottom panel to print. Yeah, 2.4 still use it. Like, it's still spec. I just bought like a dozen of them back in the day. And these are actually like the last set I have. Fun fact, the V0 uses the feet that it does, unless it's changed. But the V0 uses the feet that the V0 uses, because I bought those by mistake like years ago, and I just had them on hand, and it's like, hey guys, why don't we just use this? And it's like, oh, those are great. And I'm like, yeah, I already have some. Okay, let's power this guy up. Go gadget extension cord. Good view if we got sparks. No sparks. Oh, that's an older revision of the bottom panel. Okay, that makes sense. I'll just punch some holes in it at some point. No biggie. I can't complain. Go, put my Allen keys all the way before I lose them all. Okay, control, home all. Hey, it still works. Good. Okay, it still works. We didn't break it. Printer, switch wire. Those Allen keys metric or standard? They're metric. Tecton. I got them off Amazon a while ago. Come on, home, crappy home Wi-Fi. Connect. I might have to reboot it. I hate my Wi-Fi. I still got to get that splitter in here. Okay, try again. Sometimes it just doesn't want to connect. Traditionally red was SAE, blue for metric. Yeah, it, like in Canada, I see a lot of like yellow is metric and red, or red is standard, yellow is metric, but there's no like official standard. Ubiquity, yes, I know. Somebody says ubiquity every time I mention my crappy Wi-Fi. I just gotta get off my butt and do it one day. Okay, now it's loading. Clipper mainsail fluid still on the screen, still works. Yep. I don't know. Oh yeah, I have a mobile cam. I keep forgetting that. Boom. Focus. There you go. Like it's a very simple setup. So you can see like okay, I don't know why it says resume. You got, you have your basic controls and everything. Setup, whatnot. This setup anyways. I don't think I've ever gone into here. Oh, you can PID tune it from here. Cool. This is an older version of mainsail and Clipper. Like I'm running, I don't even know, 4.2 or 0.2.3, where right now mainsail is on 2.0. Oh, this is yeah. Or just mainsail. Source. I don't know. I don't like it. I tell you guys I'm not good with GitHub. Anyways, yeah, it's an older version. So anyways, so we have extruders. We need to make sure these work, okay? Because right now, obviously, we just threw random extruders on this, 2 of them. We don't know what's going on with them. Are they moving? Are they not? Let's find out. So the thing is, most of the time, you know, you try to feed, and it, oh, minimum temp. So, settings, config, printer. What do you mean? I am at min temp. Yeah. Bed. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it won't let me do it. I'll just heat it up then. Okay, it's at 0.4.1. So yeah, I'm running an old version. I gotta update it. I was hoping to do that today, but I didn't have time before stream. Yeah, well, extrude. How can I be at minimum, below minimum? I'm at whatever. So you know what we'll do? Hey, look, we'll just tell it it's at 190. There we go. Move it up so it's not super hot. So let's get some filament in these guys, because we're gonna have to calibrate them basically. Because who knows? These were set up for jetpacks before. Pretty sure you need a different line for extruder min temp. Yeah, probably. Let's see here. That's a boring screen. What are the default steps? Let's take a look here. Oh, it doesn't say. M302 for cold extrude. Okay. Does anyone know what the min steps are for the M4? I know I'm gonna have to update those, and I'm gonna need some filament in the meantime. Oh, perfect! I know. That'll come in handy. Hey guys, look! I have filament. Oh my god, it doesn't even cut. Come on. There we go. There we go. Good old Creality filament will come in handy here. Saw the meme. I've been memed, guys. I've made it. Okay. Oh man. Oh, I could feel it like grinding. Oh, that is bad. Okay. Is, I don't like that one. Why are you tight? Why are you grinding? Why are you grinding on that one? Let's take a look here. tight. Okay, it's just one that sounded right. Good enough. Okay. So that's enough there. Okay. So what we have right now, this is how I do filament calibration. Personally, I don't like running the filament through the hot end when configuring E-steps because depending, I don't know why people do that. You should be running the extruder standalone for configuring your E-steps because you want to remove as many variables as possible. When you tell your printer to extrude 100 millimeters, it should be extruding 100 millimeters regardless of if you're has a partial clog in the hot end or if it's rubbing on the Bowden tube, it's too tight for whatever reason. It should be that. Now, if you're having issues with it not pushing out 100 millimeters through your hot end when you tell it to push out 100 millimeters, there's so many variables that could be causing it that should be something you should look at separately, right? So depending on the temperature of your nozzle will affect how much plastic can go through at any given time, right? So when you do your E-steps, personally, I try to do it the best I can, not having these connected to anything. So just extruding right into open air. So what I'm gonna do right now is I got T0 and T1. So we're gonna go T0. We're gonna try and extrude 10 millimeters at 5 millimeters a second. Okay, so that one moved. Do I want that one to be T1? No, I want that to be, okay, so I got it backwards. So if I click that one, extrude, it would be this one. Okay, so that one's moving in the right direction, so T0, extrude. Okay, so I gotta switch them. So, let's see here. The console. Big. Nope, not basic. Okay. So extruder T1 is moving wrong direction. And I want to actually swap them. Because I don't want T1 being T1, I want it to be T0. Right? Yeah, because T1, I want that one T1. So I copy that there. No, what am I doing? I just need this. Step, direction, enable, step distance, yeah. Okay, delete that. Okay. And then I need to reverse the direction. That one. Save. Firmware reset. How about if I actually have them both locked in? There we go. Okay. This is a stream or a rave. It is whatever you want. But I can change the music here. We'll go back to the lo-fi beats. Okay. So get it back hot again, even though it doesn't need to. I'm just too lazy to change it. So let's see if we get what I want. So T0, I want this being T0. I want this being my primary extruder. T0, extrude, 10 millimeters, go. Okay, that's good. It's wrong, but it's the right one. It's going in the right direction. Now let's do this one. So this is T1, extrude 10 millimeters, go. There we go. So they're both extruding in the right direction. So what I'm going to do is cut the crappy filament. And we are going to tell it to do 100 millimeters. So extrude. Okay, this part's boring. No sparks, no sparks. Get my handy dandy scale. Okay, so we told it to extrude 100 millimeters, and we have received 99 millimeters. Really, 99? Yeah, 99. Okay. Now let's try T0 or T1 and see what we get here. By the way, let's see how good the quality is on this filament. It is 1.75. I do give him credit there. $99. Okay, now comes the part where I screw up the math. So, settings, config. So, steps. That's right, because the jetpack would have the same gear ratio as... Yeah, it's still 4:1 gearing, so that's why the step ratio didn't change. So, let's get my calculator. So, step distance. So, this should increase. So, I got to go up. So, if it's what? Oh, wait, wrong screen. So, right now it's 0.00182 steps per millimeter, or it's that. It's 0.00182 millimeters per step. So I need to go 99 divided by 100, 0.99, right? So 5 times that, no, I'm going backwards, aren't I? 182. Yeah, no, I'm going backwards. So it's 100 divided by 99 equals that times 0.00182 equals that. And then that one should be the same. Save. Firmware restart. I was told there would be no math. At least now it's the future and we all do have a calculator in our pocket. Like, I remember, you know, your teacher's like, oh, you're never going to have a calculator in your pocket. And then everyone walks around with a cell phone on them. Okay, so we are going to T0 extrude 100 millimeters. I pushed the wrong button. Try this again. Oh, this is really brittle. Extrude. It's doing its thing. Okay, T1, extrude 100 millimeters. Go! I did it backwards. 98. Why do I always do it backwards? I always do it backwards. I always do it backwards. Why do I always do it backwards? Edit, undo, undo. Standard. So what were we? We were 0.00182, right? Before. Times 0.99. Yeah, so it should be that. That's what it should be. Why do I always do the math backwards? Why do I always do the math backwards, guys? Save. Firmware restart. There we go. Okay. So let's try this again. 190. 100 millimeters. Extrude. I know, super duper. I always do the math backwards. And it's funny, this one's actually off a little bit. They're not exactly the same, but that would make sense because they have different kits of Bondtech gears in them. There we go, 100 millimeters. So just to show you, I hit the wrong button. I hit retract. That's probably gonna fall out. Yep. Here, feed it back through. Okay. So just to show you the difference. T1, blah, 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 extrude. Well, you can't just assume because they're the same extruder, you can use the same step distance or E steps, is because these are built exactly the same, but the E steps are different on them. This one is actually about 1 millimeter difference. Now they have different, this one, the Bondtech gears in here are actually, I think, much older. Yeah, 98 or 99. Yeah. So over 100 millimeters. This one's bang on. That one's off a millimeter. I'm not super concerned right now because I'm actually going to take the Bondtech gears that I have in this guy. I think this is the one. Yeah, I'm going to take the gears out of this guy and put them in there because these gears are better. I think the gears I have in there right now are, one, it's a mismatched pair, and they're like first generation knockoff ones. So they're a little, Now, another thing I have to do is go into my config. And our motors are running a little hot. So, let's see here. Yeah, that's why. 0.5. Nope, wrong button. 0.5. 5. Actually, we'll go with 0.4. There we go. Because they were set up for bigger motors before, and now they're running pancakes. So we'll go with 0.5 amp. Save. Restart. Okay, we're good there. It's 11. I think I'm going to call the stream there. I don't think... Do you guys want me to print something really quick? But I don't think I really... I'm going to be here an extra hour. If I do. Oh, I think I used a bad one. 1 second. I'm doing the Molex Microfit 3s now. Do the male or female pins go in the female? They go in the opposite. So the male pins have female, the metal thingies go in. Let me see. Yeah, so like, this is the female connector. Focus. And it's got the male pins in it. You can't see that, but yeah. It's opposite. Yeah, next time. I think, yeah, we'll do that next time. That one doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to call the stream there, guys. I'm going to leave it open for the next like 10 minutes while I clean up. This took a lot longer. Well, not a lot longer, but this took longer than I hoped it would. I was hoping to be able to get to a print off. But what that means is next week's stream, we will be playing around hopefully with dual extrusion. So that should be a fun one. I'll hopefully be able to run off a dual extrusion print, and I'll be able to go over any questions or whatever anyone has on the build itself. So that will be next week's stream, is playing with dual extrusion and getting this guy actually printing. So I'll go through, ooh, wow, those are, why are those hot? Those are hot. I had the curve way too high on these guys. Oh well. E2, thank you, man, appreciate it. So yeah, so I'll call it there. If you guys have any questions or comments, like afterwards, just ask them in the comments below, or just hit me up on Discord or follow me on Twitter at 3DP Nero. Go ahead and ask me stuff there. I'm addicted to the Twitter now. So, what do we do tonight? This is now done, other than a bottom plate that you can't see. The printer is now assembled, it's done. Firmware is set up for it. The only other thing that we could play with is like pressure advance and input shaper and all that jazz. But I'll save that for later. What next week's stream will be is dual extrusion printing. We're going to push some plastic out of here, get it all properly set up and everything. So that should be fun. So I hope to see you all next week. I hope you had fun tonight. I hope you learned some stuff. Hope you were entertained, or just, you know, you had something to listen to while you sat at home stuck in quarantine, because legit, I can't go anywhere but work in the grocery store right now. And it sucks. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands and have a nice day. Peace.